Christine. Oh, her name was Christine. She was so beautiful, but not as pretty as Lee. Welcome back, peeps, to Stone Pro Campfire Wrestling Society. So yeah, peeps, this is episode 2, chapter 6 of the Stone Pro podcast. This is going to be a recap of Monday Night Raw, but not a usual recap video. No, because I couldn't have been bothered to even watch this show. I was watching the 1983 horror classic Christine, thinking about character change and development. My dude Arnie went from a nerd who couldn't stand up for himself, who just took whatever came to him, to slowly, over the course of an hour, 50 minutes, going from, "Thank you, sir, I have your daughter home by 9, to, "I'll drop your daughter off whenever I feel like it." And all of this happened because a car was jealous of its owner's relationships. Digi Rewind. The movie starts with Arnie clearly normal, but that'll all change around 15 minutes and 50 seconds into the film when Arnie and Dennis pass a old 1958 Plymouth Fury, obviously named Christine. Little does he, as well as Dennis, know this would be the worst decision ever. But here's the recap, and I quote because, like I said, I didn't watch the show. I'm getting these results from BleacherReport.com. 2 days after being attacked and eliminated in the Royal Rumble match, and irate Bron Breakker stalked the ringside area and threatened anyone in his path, leading to the Vision attempting to calm him down amid demands issued to Raw General Manager Adam Pearce. Paul Heyman blamed Pearce too, which caused Breakker to call out the General Manager again. Pearce appeared, told Breakker he would allow him to keep his job despite a piss-poor performance in the Royal Rumble, and LA Knight sneak attacked Logan Paul and Austin Theory with his steel chair, I shall say. A dismayed Breakker asked Heyman, "What are we doing?" in disbelief as the segment closed. Okay, well, first of all, why did Triple H, the doofus son-in-law, even have Bron Breakker in the Rumble in the first place if he was just going to get thrown out before literally the match even began? If you guys are enjoying this video so far, please comment below and let me know your thoughts. But make sure you spark up your blunts or joints. I see you. Yeah, you. Don't spill that hot cocoa. Don't drop your snacks. But hold up. Let me hit my bong. The movie starts with the sound of the 1958 Plymouth Fury engine running with a list of credits. We then hear "Bad to the Bone" by George Thorogood. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that name. And the Destroyers playing in a Plymouth factory assembly line. Second of all, why is the Vision trying to calm down Bron? They said they don't want to wait for opportunities. They said they are the future, but how long can they call themselves the future? Honestly, I can't remember anything of importance that they said or done since forming. All we've gotten was Seth Rollins yapping our heads off, I'm not gonna lie. We then see several Plymouth Furies being finished worked on when we get our first look at Christine, whose hood is opened and being inspected by a factory worker. Third of all, are we going absolutely anywhere with this Bron and Pearce storyline? I mean, Adam Pearce is clear to wrestle, so why are we not getting any physical interactions between the two? You'd think Bron, being this unpredictable badass, would, I don't know, actually attack Pearce backstage, leaving him bloody. Now, I don't blame Bron or any of the talent. They're giving it their all, but the head of creative is not helping them or can't even keep up with how to book them, aka Triple H. Sorry about that, peeps. I needed to go eat. I had some buffalo wings and fries. Boy, were they good. And then I fell asleep, but I'm back. And it's currently 2:43 a.m. I'll probably have this done before 4. I'm praying. Christine then slams her hood on the worker's hand as a medic of some kind helps him out. We see a black man smoking either a cigar or a blunt, probably a cigar, open Christine's driver's side door. As he enters, he closes the door and turns on the radio. Unfortunately for him, he flicks his cigar ash onto her seat. Some time goes by, and one assembly line supervisor or foreman, whatever you want to call them, realizes something is off As he approaches Christine, he opens the door, and the black man from earlier falls out, cigar in his mouth, dead. Fourth of all, how is Adam Pearce going to call Bron Breakker's performance in the Rumble essentially below average and threaten his job when he was eliminated by a masked man who wasn't even in the match? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't it actually be a surprise if it was Adam Pearce who was the masked man? Also, what are we doing with LA Knight? Hunter, aka Paul Levesque, you left him off on TV for almost a month, basically, and then you bring him back just to continue to feud with the Vision? We want LA Knight in the main event scene, not feuding with a faction who none of them have any titles. I did like how it said Braun question, Paul Heyman saying, what are we doing? Meaning, is he getting tired? Is he getting frustrated with Paul Heyman's decisions and how he advocates? The camera cuts to the rest of the factory workers who are shocked but frozen, emphasizing the horror element. Christine isn't just a car. She's a supernatural force who has her own jealous personality and loves her owner, Arnie. Our protagonist turned antagonist, as we will come to find out that will have an effect on Ernie's personality and the way he views everything. He comes to love the car more than anything else in the world, and anyone Christine doesn't like becomes a target. Nursing shoulder and rib injuries following an Iron Man performance in Saturday's Royal Rumble, Javon Evans squared off with El Grande Americano in a rematch of their previous matchup, which ended when Evans suffered an injury. Americano targeted the obvious injury, slamming his opponent into the ring post. Entering the commercial break, the resilient young star fought through the pain and back into the match, delivering a coast-to-coast swanton kick to the head for two. Bravo and Rayo attempted to interfere, but the original El Grande Americano interrupted the match and provided a distraction that allowed Evans to deliver the OG cutter for the win. Result, Evans defeated Americano. Cut to Dennis driving to pick up Arnie. This is where Arnie first really interacts with Christine. He immediately buys the car from a guy called George LeBay, who said the car belonged to his brother, but I think he was actually saying the car was his, but didn't want to be responsible for what the car really was. The second Arnie's hands touch the wheel, something's off. Not bad off, just different. He's smiling weird like a nerd who finally figured out how to be cool, but also kind of scary. AJ Styles' theme song played, and Gunther entered the arena mocking the man he retired Saturday night in Riyadh, with fans raining down on him with a chorus of boos drowning out his initial attempts at a promo. The ring general basked in the disdain of the WWE universe. When he finally did start speaking, Dragon Lee rushed the ring and took the fight to the former world champion. A well-timed cheap shot turned the tide in the Hill's favor and allowed him to put Lee to sleep twice. While Eric and Ivar of the War Raiders awaited their opponents for a tag team match, former NXT champion Obafemi's music played, and the main roster newcomer made his way to the ring. The ruler obliterated the former world tag team champions, leaving them lying and standing tall. A message sent loudly and clearly. They pull out of the lot in the car. Oh, Christine is already doing her thing. Engine purrs like she owns the world. Little scrapes happen around them. Nothing major, but it's like... Wait. Arnie's chest puffs out. He's talking like he's suddenly the main character in a movie. Well, to be honest, he is. And Dennis is trying to process if his boy is okay and still himself. One of the legitimate surprises in the Saturday Royal Rumble, Brie Bella joined her sister Nikki for a Bella Twins reunion. The Hall of Famers stated their claim to the Women's Tag Team Championships, saying they are back and ready to target the gold as the original tag team of the women's division. By the time they pull up to Arnie's place, the old shy awkward nerd is gone, replaced by someone who's low-key smug, low-key obsessed. And Christine? She's parked there, hood down, but you just know she's alive. My dude Arnie's already looking at her like she's a queen and he's her royal knight. And that, peeps, that's when things start getting messy. Sorry about that, peeps. I'm back once again. I had to go get some sleep. It was going on 5 a.m., but currently it's 10 p.m., February 4th. I have plenty of energy, so let's get this recap finished so I can drop it for you peeps. With Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio indisposed of due to injury, Penta went in alone as he battled Big Bronson Reed, who was accompanied to the squared circle by the Visions, Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. Reed dominated the luchador, working him over with his size and strength advantage. He wore out the masked fan favorite until Penta seized an opening and teed off on his opponent. His offense was short-lived as Reed cut him off and re-established dominance. Reed delivered the jagged edge, then followed with the tsunami, but there was no referee to count the pin after being knocked out via incidental contact. With the heel, the big man grabbed hold of a chair, but LA Knight appeared, delivered the BFT, and escaped through the crowd. Penta won the match via countout. I'ma spoil even more now. I can't believe Arnie was actually able to secure a date with that chick, Lee. Wow, she was gorgeous. They don't make women like they did in the 70s and 80s anymore now, do they? WWE Intercontinental and AAA Mega Champion Dominik Mysterio returned for the first time since suffering an injury in December and introduced the winner of the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble, Liv Morgan. Morgan admitted that she's not sure who she will challenge at WrestleMania 42, but she is going to SmackDown on Friday night to scope out her options. From there, she claimed WWE will be crowning a new Women's World Champion tonight and introduced Raquel Rodriguez. Big Sexy called out Morgan for eliminating her in the Rumble match and told her to stay in the back for her match tonight, so there are no questions about who the real Women's World Champion is. I personally would have made myself a target for Christine over Lee. I don't know what was going through Arnie's head, but the heated rivalry over the top prize in the Raw Women's Division wrote its latest chapter in a Philadelphia Street Fight Monday. When Raquel Rodriguez challenged Stephanie Vaquer, Big Sexy struck first, driving La Primera through a table with a powerbomb to establish control, entering the commercial break. Back from the timeout, Rodriguez wildly swung a steel chair at Vaquer, but the champion ducked, then teed off on her challenger with a kendo stick. Everything Vaquer attempted, though Rodriguez cut off. Whether it was a sustained comeback or her famed Devil's Kiss, the challenger had an answer for it. That is until the Chilean-born competitor weathered a slam on steel chairs and delivered consecutive Devil's Kisses, one on a steel chair, the other on the ring steps. Frustration set in down the stretch, with both women expressing as much after pin attempts failed to net them the win and title. Liv Morgan, despite orders not to get involved, did just that, and her interference backfired, nearly costing her friend the match. Roxanne Perez interfered and found herself tumbling through a table at ringside. Rodriguez tried for a powerbomb through a table, but Vaquer countered, delivering a hurricanrana that kinda sorta sent her opponent through a different table. The corkscrew splash earned La Primera the victory. Result, Vaquer defeated Rodriguez. He starts seeing the world differently. Anything Christine approves of, like him or his date plans or his friends, is okay. Anything she doesn't, well, people get hurt. His moral compass is already bending. Roman Reigns hits the ring to address his Royal Rumble. I'm guessing win. It doesn't say the win. I'm just adding that in. And he got a bit nostalgic along the way. He recalled that he won his first WWE Championship in the city and lost his last one in the same place. When he won his first Rumble there, the fans did not sound nearly as complimentary to him as they did on this night. From there, he turned his attention to WrestleMania and the champion he should challenge at the event, with CM Punk being the crowd's choice. The world champion joined Reigns in the ring, entering to a big pop. Punk immediately addressed Finn Balor's earlier words via a taped promo. Reigns took exception, and the world champion claimed the tribal chief was visiting. The two megastars took shots at each other. With increasingly personal edge, Punk reminded Reigns that he once ruled over WWE as champion for 434 days with Paul Heyman by his side. Just because you did it longer doesn't mean you did it better, he said. Reigns, fired up, claimed he let Punk back in WWE when Triple H came to him 2 years ago, and still holds onto the anger and frustration he felt when the world champ made his life a living hell a decade earlier during a podcast appearance, his ego bruised, he chose Punk as his WrestleMania 42 opponent because he hates him, then stomped off to close out the segment and show the beautiful normal girl he wants to impress now suddenly competes with a supernatural jealous car. But that's all I got for you peeps today. I appreciate y'all checking out my channel. I was smoking on some lemon zest out of my bong, and as always, make sure you peeps keep y'all's blunts or joints lit, a beverage in your hand, a snack by your side. I am Sora above the sky from Stone Pro Campfire Wrestling Society, signing off. Have a blessed day, peeps. Peace out.